All right, it's that day of the week. Let's get to the power rankings,
Let's do it.
Who do you got at 10?
Okay, this was tough. 10's always, you know what I'm learning is that we've done this all season now, and I'm starting to see some patterns with myself personally. I don't know if this is the case for you or not, but 10 is always the hardest for me because I have a handful of teams. I'm convicted about like 1 through 9. You know, maybe every now and again I'm a little bit like, I don't know, maybe this team should be a 7 or an 8. But 10 is always tough because I have a 2 or 3 teams vying for that 10 spot. I'm going Texans here, and it was tough. It was like pulling teeth because I barely took the Texans over the Seahawks, who have won 4 straight, and they look like a playoff team. Geno doesn't lose a game. They run the ball. I mean, Walker was out of the game for the Seattle. Zach Charbonnet comes in and looks like Walker. He looks better.
Workhorse.
So it's like, wow, okay. They play good defense or well coached. They just don't beat themselves.
Yeah.
But I went Texans over them because of 2 things, and it's the most important thing in the NFL these days. Head coach, quarterback. I like the combo better still. I like D'Amico Ryans. I like C.J. Stroud. I do. And so because of that, I still believe in this Texans team. I know you don't. You haven't all year, but I still do. I have them at 10.
I don't believe in their offensive line.
Yeah.
And the amount that
it's hard to.
C.J. Stroud's been pressured.
Yeah.
Step back. They were going to take overall. I put the Broncos at 10. They're coming off the bye. Bo Nix this season, more pass attempts than Josh Allen, Jared Goff, and Justin Herbert.
Go on.
Almost 1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His last 6 games, only sacked 10 times.
Yeah.
Over his last 4, just 6 passes beyond 20 yards, though.
Did you want to take this opportunity to apologize to me?
No,
and
I'm not.
Bo Nix's family?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right.
He is what he said he is.
Oh, is he? So he stinks.
He's not a great NFL quarterback. He's not good, but he's good in Sean Payton's system. He can't throw the ball further than 6 yards down the field.
Well, that's not what
but
you
Sean
said.
Payton in his system, I would not
you said
want
he
him.
stunk. I think you owe him an apology.
If you can only work out in a situation 1 of 32, you're not good.
I'm just saying.
But hey, he runs that system well.
I believe you said he sucked.
Hey,
actually.
I put the Broncos in. I put the Broncos in over the man that goes out of his way to just wreak havoc on Tony Pollard and everything he's done to work back from that awful injury. I put the Broncos over the Texans because that was the Texans team is what I looked at. Do I put them at 10?
Yeah.
It's the offensive line. The Broncos with that defense. What about 9?
I
Would you have
do
a 9?
get it. I'm going Chargers.
Same.
Look, man, I get it.
Even
you
after
lose
the
to
loss?
Yeah, because
Bro,
I mean, what are you going to do?
ridiculous.
Right. What
I
are you gonna
hated
do?
that game so
Me
much.
too. Who didn't? Imagine how a Chargers fan felt, right?
I don't know any.
Yeah, you do. You know one. Well, there's only one that anyone knows.
Yeah.
I still believe in them. They're not going to go to the Super Bowl. They don't have the horses, but Harbaugh's doing a great job. They run the ball. Herbert's Herbert. Their defense is playing. They're just tougher. Harbaugh made them tougher. That's what was missing. Competence as a head coach and a tougher team. They have all that now. The talent, they need to keep working.
Yeah.
Certainly receivers. But I like this Chargers team. I can't wait to watch them wild card weekend. Depending on matchup, they could win a playoff game.
Yeah, I would not be shocked. Ladd McConkey, they need him back.
They do.
Been banged up. You see that entire passing game just take a back seat. But even without a J.K. Dobbins, that run game is still good because they've one of the best offensive lines. Rashawn Slater, Joe Alt, those 2 bookend offensive tackles.
Yep.
Both are all world. They've been fantastic for them. So I have them at 9. 8, I have the Ravens.
Yeah.
Coming off the bye, just when you go back on their losses, 7 points to the Chiefs opening night of the season, 3 versus the Raiders where they let the Raiders come back. That was awful.
Terrible.
5-point loss to the Browns where the Browns won on a last-second prayer play.
Yeah.
When really they should have won that because Kyle Hamilton should not have dropped an interception. 2-point loss against the Steelers, 5-point loss against the Eagles. 3 out of those 5 losses against really good teams, 4 out of the 5 against really good defenses. They can lose to anybody, which isn't good, but it's so close to the margins, and this offense is still so great that I just like this Ravens team a lot. I feel like I have them low at 8, but it's at defense. It's a liability.
We do have them low, but I have them at the exact same spot, and I agree with everything you said. The best thing for the Ravens coming out of the bye, you get to go to the Meadowlands and just beat the hell out of the Giants. I mean, that's going to feel great for them. Then you get Pittsburgh at home. You go to Houston to take on my Texans, but the Ravens obviously could win that game. And then you finish the season at home against Cleveland. They should win that game too.
Yeah.
So the Ravens conceivably should have some momentum going into the playoffs. We'll see.
Who do you have at 7?
7, I have the Pack. Go Pack, go, man. Same thing. I predicted a Packers win against the Lions. I was wrong. But I felt after that game like I was right, even though I was wrong. And I had the Packers winning the game. Dan Campbell, again, gambling. I mean, he is playing crap. 7 every time. Eventually, you crap out. Okay, take it from a gambler. But I left that game feeling like everything I like about the Packers is there. I love LaFleur, Jordan Love, the weapons. Defense is inconsistent, but when they play, they play. I still think the Packers can get to the Super Bowl. I got them at 7.
Look, man, you're on the Lions' home turf. You almost beat them in regulation.
Bro, should have won the game.
Absurd. We'll get to the Lions. Just absurd what Dan Campbell did, but like that's his bread and butter. I went NFC North, but I went Vikings in the 7th spot. Feel like I have them low. Look, they're 11-2. They only have 2 losses. They only have 2 losses.
And Darnold's balling.
And those are, I need to look at the Vikings schedule again. Those are probably divisional losses. And Darnold, dude, 5 touchdowns.
That's a thing.
He has 11 touchdowns, no interceptions his last 4. That system, man, it's insane.
It is.
I'm excited to see what J.J. McCarthy looks like. A year sitting, a year learning that system. That redshirt year can help him.
Yeah.
Better arm than Darnold. Better decision maker than Sam Darnold. I'm excited to see what J.J. McCarthy does. But this team right now, number 1 defensive efficiency, turned the ball over a ton.
Yeah, they did.
And with Darnold playing with these weapons around him, now this Falcons team's not good. And that's why I have him at 7. Kirk Cousins stinks. Defense doesn't generate a pass rush. Secondary was getting lost all afternoon long. 42-21. It felt like it was a 50-0 Vikings win, though.
I don't think he's going to win it this season. I agree with you with the Vikings. You have him at 7. I have him at 6.
Yeah.
But, look, I don't think he's going to win it this season, but Kevin O'Connell is going to win a Coach of the Year at some point. He is that good. And that system is that good.
Oh, yeah.
And, that's just an example. Hear me out, people. That's an example of a franchise taking a chance on a young, innovative play caller as a head coach. And, my God, look at where they are like that overnight. Unbelievable. Different personnel at quarterback, doesn't matter. Just saying. Something to think about, Pats fans. Vikings at 6. I keep saying I don't believe in them winning in the playoffs. But the way Darnold's playing, who the hell knows? Maybe they could be in the Super Bowl and we're just idiots and we don't see it. Honestly, they keep winning.
I want to find the receipts when Kevin O'Connell was hired and what the reaction was.
Oh, I'm sure he was. That's an example of someone who just shook Sean McVay's hands and they were like, he's a genius.
He's 36.
Give him the job.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sure Vikings fans were like, what are we doing? And now look up.
One of the best head coaches and one of the best play callers by far. 6th, I have the Steelers, man. Beat the Browns down 27-14. That was a fun matchup. But this defense is just, they're number 1 in takeaways, not generating a ton of sacks, but the amount of max protects you're seeing, like 7 blockers, 3 guys running routes. But the depth of this defensive line and pass rush overall, Alex Highsmith, TJ Watt, Nick Herbig, Keanu Benton, Cam Hayward, Isaiah Loudermilk. Like, they just have guy after guy after guy, skilled dudes at each level. And what the offense is, like Russ, George Pickens does just enough. The head coach of Mike Tomlin. Watch the first episode of Hard Knocks.
So good.
You could tell who gave the most access. And Mike Tomlin had no issue giving access.
I told you.
The way that guy runs meetings, the way that guy is on the sidelines.
Teaches.
The way he talks to players. Like George Pickens making a huge mistake. He's like, look at me. You're good. Pickens is like, yeah. He's like, all right, that's it. Made a huge F up. He's just like, you're good, man. There's a lot of ball game left. It's a leader.
That dude, he needs another Super Bowl, George.
Yeah.
If he can get one, it's a new conversation with him.
Oh, okay.
If he can get one, it's a new Oh, yeah. But I'm saying the conversation.
Yes.
The room that Bill walks in. Yeah, Bill walks in. Andy Reid walks in. Bill Walsh, rest his soul. I think Tomlin needs one more Super Bowl. He's walking in that rarefied air room if he can get it.
Man. He's only 52, too. Looks good.
So I'm saying, bro.
If you enjoy football talk, catch Foxborough Rush every Monday for game reactions, Wednesday for draft talk, and Fridays, we're joined by former NFL executive Michael Lombardi, available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Facebook, and Twitch, wherever else you get your podcasts. And if you're watching on the Nesson YouTube page, hit the subscribe button as well. All right, let's get to the top 5.
Yep.
I had Packers at 5.
I respect that.
3-point loss to Lions, and I'd push them up. Like, they went up 3 spots, I'm pretty sure, from my last week's power rankings. Yeah. Even coming off a loss. Look, that run game is so dominant. Mm-hmm. Josh Jacobs was absurd. Jordan Love's just really, really good. End of the day. Take care of the football, he'll be a lot better. But like the base and the skill set and all the boxes you want checked for your quarterback are all there. Big mistakes by Christian Watson. And they were still in this game down to last possession. And again, it came down to a 4th and 1, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because Dan Campbell's like, we go for it here. If not, we're going to overtime. Or we're just going to win in regulation at home. Like, the stone's by him.
Yeah.
Where anyone at home will go, we'll play for overtime. He was basically, no, we're playing for the win. This Packers team's really good. And that defense is so aggressive, so talented in the secondary, and good guys in that front 7, man.
No doubt. I went Bills at 5. I know they lost, but I'll be honest with you. I'd rather them sort of lose now and get humbled because they were hotter than fish grease.
Yeah.
And the way they lost, watching that game, you know what it felt like to me, George? It felt like the offseason caught up with them. Mm-hmm. Because remember, you lose weapons in Diggs and Davis. You lose game-changing guys on the outside. They lost a ton of guys on defense. What were you missing in that game? All the above. And you were also outcoached, which that's another topic for another day. So the Bills, I think losing now helps them. We'll see. Maybe they won't get home field because the Chiefs just keep winning. More on them later, I'm sure, in both of our lists. But even if you don't, you've had a really good season. You see the formula. Run the ball. Let Josh Allen be Superman. If your defense can just hold up, I think they'll be okay. So I like that they lost now, and I like the way that they lost, too, so they can learn from it.
Yeah. I mean, Rams got up big.
I know.
Too.
I know.
The fact that the Bills are even in this game.
Josh Allen.
I hate that. I was staring at Vikings, I think, -6. Then I saw Bills -3.5. But money line was like only -170. I was like, yeah. They'll absolutely handle the Rams at the line of scrimmage. Should just laid the points with the Vikings, overthought it.
Rams are a dangerous team, bro.
Dude, we saw, I think, over 900 yards of offense total, yeah. Josh Allen and Matt Stafford combined for over 650 passing yards. All those touchdowns and what Josh Allen did as well. After the ridiculous game he had against the Niners to put together the game he had the following week, I mean, just so good. I have the Chiefs at 4. I think my top 4 probably stayed the same. Yes, they beat the Chargers, but they're not good. That offensive line is not good. That defense isn't as good as it was. And you literally went off a doink. Like, you're a foot away from losing to the Chargers, and then everything's blowing up in your faces of like, all right, this team is this bad, where the Chargers offense was kept in check. The defense is good, but the offense can't move the ball worth a lick. And you have Patrick Mahomes. I don't like it. There's no flow. I just don't like what I'm watching this year. I didn't love it last season. I hate it this season. There's a big difference. The tackle play of the Chiefs is a legitimate liability.
You know, it's funny. You put the Chiefs at 4, and you don't like anything that you see. I did the same thing with the Lions. I got them at 4, bro.
The hell?
You know, I'm pretty sure I need some sort of counseling or therapy or something because I was all about the Lions this offseason. Got a Super Bowl ticket for them in my pocket right now that I hope I cash. As the season has gone on and they have won games, the later we get in the season and the more this damn gambling I see from Dan Campbell, the more I'm convinced they're not gonna get it done. I'm telling you, I'm a sicko. I believed in them. All they've done is win, and I'm off of them. It's weird. I don't buy it. I think the Eagles can beat them in the NFC, and damn it, we just talked about them briefly. If these Rams, who are a game out of a wild card right now, get into the postseason, I'll take the Rams in Detroit. Yes, I would. I'd take the Eagles. I'd take the Rams. That's where I'm at right now with this team, and there's still time. I'm not willing to bet on Darnold, I don't think, but there's still time. Green Bay, I think, again, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
I could see Green Bay beating them. I'm not buying it. I think he's played with fire too much. I think he's flying too close to the sun.
If they didn't get that 4th down, which it was 4th and 1, they got a 7-yard gain, by the way. Like,
Sure.
He knew what the hell he was doing.
I'm just saying.
If they didn't get it and lost in overtime, I would have loved that.
Really?
Because
to humble him.
Not just that, like game on the line, they would do the same thing in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
So he's putting that stress test on his guys now.
Oh, okay.
He's not going to pull it out of his ass out of nowhere and go, season on line, game is on the line.
Punt. Like, what?
One seed is on the line in the NFC. They're playing for a lot, home field.
Yeah, absolutely.
The whole team knows it. And he looked at the best offense. Like, they are what they are. Okay. They have the best offensive line. They're relentless. They're strong. They're mean. They're bullies. They're confident. They don't care. I love that he did that. Stress test, high octane, offense you're facing on the other side, obviously. But like with the entire world watching, because it's on prime time, it'll be in the playoffs. Same thing, bright stage at home. Everyone's sitting on pins on their chairs watching that. They get 7 effing yards. He knows what he's doing. He's stress testing his team now. If they failed, I would have liked it more. But they're not. The lights are never going to be too bright for this team.
Didn't work out in the NFC title game last season.
The play calls on 4th down, though, were like long passes with Jared Goff. On a 4th and 1, a run play with David Montgomery is much different.
Just saying.
I get it. I see it. 3 spot for me is the Bills.
Okay.
I didn't knock them down.
Okay.
They lost 44-42 to the Rams.
Yeah.
Rams team you like on turf, man. This team's so good. I just put the Bills at 3.
I went Steelers. I completely disagree with your assessment. I actually think this could be a Super Bowl team. I really do.
I don't hate that.
I really do. It's just Russell Wilson. It's Russell Wilson. He's the X factor. He looks like Russell Wilson from Seattle. If he can sustain this, I would not be shocked if the Steelers shock everyone and go to the Super Bowl.
I put the Eagles at 2. They're 11-2. They
Same.
just got by the Panthers, but that defense is so legit. We'll see. Smoke, fire, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Brandon Graham. Figure your issue out, man. But this Eagles team is so good.
I agree. I have them at 2. And you talk about that sort of infighting that we're seeing here. Do we trust that Nick Sirianni is a guy that can bring everyone together? No, but hell no.
Yeah.
Something to keep our eye on.
At 1, I have the Lions. They're number 1 in total points. This defense is so damn good. They just figure out a way, even though they let up 31. Just the way that they win, the amount of ways they can kill you. Amon-Ra St. Brown kept in check all game. Has a huge catch at the end. That's what they do.
It's what they do.
They have so many guys in so many spots. You can keep them in check, and they'll beat you.
Look, I hate to do this to you. I have the Chiefs, man, at number 1. You know why?
Regret it.
They are last in the league in style points. But damn it, man. They just keep winning, and they have Patrick Mahomes. The end. Mahomes and Reed. I can't. I've moved them out of 1 for several weeks. I can't do it anymore. I can't. I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl. But, man, I don't know how I can't have them at 1.
Because their offensive line stinks.
They keep winning.
Defense isn't that good.
They keep winning.
It's ugly, man. It's going to catch up to them. The same way you think the Lions gambling is going to catch up,
Chiefs.
the way the Chiefs are playing is going to catch up to them.